up, where you're repeating the same thing on groups of 2 strings, and then you're going to the next group of 2 strings up, and then on up. So you can go up with it too. This is some variations on that, using both the up and the down. One thing that's helped me a lot in passages like that is practicing in one position symmetrically across the neck. It doesn't make sense as any scale or anything, but it's just... So you could go. That's kind of a medium speed. Fast would be. And that way you can concentrate on getting the coordination down between the 2 hands, and you don't have to worry about a lot of different shifting for scales and stuff. And you'll find that once you have the basic coordination down, just in a symmetrical shape, then it'll be a lot easier to move it into whatever scale you want, if you want to do it in a major scale or a minor scale. But the first key is getting the coordination down, and then you can even practice things like chromatically moving up the neck doing the same coordination, which is more difficult. One of the things I just did had a very chromatic sound, and it was the same coordination, but doing a lot of hand position shifts. And this has a strange sound because you're moving up the neck, but the pitch usually isn't going up. The pitch is either staying the same or going down. So it's like... One of the things I do a lot is mix up different rhythmic groupings of notes. That I talked about earlier was the 4 notes rhythmic groupings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another way is to do rhythmic groupings of 5. But this is a thing where I mix rhythmic groupings of 4 and 5. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you play that over a 4/4 type of beat, it's really interesting because you can't pin down where 1 is ever. It's always just floating around over it. And this uses, instead of using the hammer-ons, this is more, and hammer-ons and pull-offs, this is more of a strict alternate picking type of lick. Again, I start on the upstroke. Some people tend to start on the downstrokes, but in my particular mode of picking, I start on the upstroke, and that makes all the difference. On downstroke, I can't even do it. If I start on a downstroke, it's kind of a disaster, but I start on an upstroke. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do that slow. E minor type of scale. One, two, three, four. Another thing you can do is rhythmic groupings of 6 using 3 notes per string, which I do like this. Those slow, again, are strict alternate picking, starting with an upstroke. Again, that was kind of an E minor scale, G major. In my own playing, I use a lot of those things, 4s, 5s, 6s. I try to mix them up a whole lot so that it's not too much or doesn't linger too long on any one thing. But one thing you can do, a lot of times, it's just adding a little bit to something will change the whole way that it fits over the beat. So whereas regular 6s be, if you add just, say, 2 notes in front of it, and then you start on the... But if you're on a beat, that throws the accents on a whole other part of the beat, so it has a whole different sound. And so you can do that starting it off, say, and then do 3 groups of 6, and then do it on the G string for your next 3 groups too, like... 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 basic ways that I practice the rhythmic groupings of 6, using the 3 notes per string. And that is the straight 6s down, that I already showed earlier. Then using that same shape going up the neck. Okay, and then you can have the ascending 6s. And then you can also do those backwards down across the neck. And so if you can do them all 4 together, it's kind of a good workout exercise. This tune we're about to play is called Rules of the Game. It's from my Powers of 10 album. It was the first song I recorded on the album, which took me a long time to get to the actual recording of the album, getting my studio and everything set up. And so it was the first song I recorded, and I had a lot of really happiness expressed in the song for finally getting to do my album and everything. Also, I wanted to make it real symphonic and have a lot of different counterpoint and a lot of the instruments, influenced by a lot of symphonic classical music. And the title is inspired by one of my favorite films by Jean Renoir called The Rules of the Game.